Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Open up your mouth and say, ah. On your next inhale, lift your right leg back and up. On an exhale, bring your knee towards your belly, maybe your nose, maybe your forehead. Empty out the lungs fully and completely. And then inhale, sweep the leg back and up. Exhale, this time right knee taps your right elbow with a pause, or bend both elbows and fly. Exhaling to empty, and your inhale lifts you back and up, opening up the hip. Inhale, lifting the left heel and the right leg. And exhale, right knee to your left elbow. Tap and hold or fly. Inhale, this is your last time. Exhale, step your right foot all the way up between your hands. Lowering the left knee and untucking your toes. Inhale, rise up, find Anjaneyasana. On the inhale, lift your lower belly, rising up and out of the hips. On the exhale, cinch your waist, wrapping the ribs in your Uddiyana Bandha. One more inhale. On an exhale, side bend to the right. On an inhale, come back up and side bend to the left. Inhale, rise back up, look up. Breathing in as much as you can, and on an exhale, cactus your elbows. Opening up your heart to this beautiful day ahead. Inhale, lifting your arms, start to straighten out your right leg, finding your way into a half split pose. Pressing down with your right heel, energetically pulling the right heel back as you glide your left knee forward, keeping the two hips closed and facing the front of your mat. If you want to make it more passive, sit back on your heel. If you want to make it more active, kick your right foot out, full split. Keeping the left hip bone facing down. One more breath in your chosen pose. And on your next inhale, we'll bend the right knee and come to pyramid pose. Place your left foot where your left knee is. Make sure your feet are still hip bone distance apart. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthening the spine. And on an exhale, fold, rounding over your right knee. Tucking your chin to chest. Feeling the energy of your right foot pushing forward, guiding the right hip back. Left foot pushing back, spiraling the left thigh bone forward. Inhale, lift up to your fingertips. And then take your left hand to the inside or outside of your right foot or ankle. Take your right hand to your right hip or up to the sky. Arms at 6 and 12. Steady your gaze, conscious breathing, and activated bandhas. On your next inhale, we'll take both hands back down, lifting up your right toes, lifting up your left heel to pivot around to the left, and then widening your stance a little. Bend your right knee, float your left toes up, finding runner's stretch, bringing the hands to the heart. If your right heel doesn't lower all the way down, place a block under there or try to lift up out of the hips a little bit more. One more deep breath in. Quality exhale out. On your next inhale, use your hands or no hands, lift up and mosey onto the other side. Notice if the left heel stayed up, lower or lift up out of the hips again. Try to lower all the way down with the heel grounded or on a block. Bringing your hands to your heart or wherever you went on the other side. If you go for a bind, the left hand grabs the right wrist. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Releasing your bind and slowly lifting yourself back up to a wide leg fold. Inhale up to your fingertips and then hands to your hips as you rise all the way up to standing. Interlace your fingers, bringing your right thumb on top, press your palms together. Inhale, look up. And on an exhale with a flat back, fold all the way over. Once you get there, let your arms right off your back. Do your best to keep your palms pressing together. And feel free to release this bind at any time, finding your way into a headstand, a forearm stand, or a handstand, whatever your practice is. Two more breaths. One more breath. Inhale as you rise back up to your fingertips. Bending the right knee, bringing it back around to a right side lunge. Plant your left palm, plant your right fingertips, tenting all right thigh. Step right foot back, pivot your left toes to the right, and find your way into a side plank. You can leave the right hand down to modify, or you can reach your right arm up or bicep by your ear. Can stack the right foot on top of your left or stagger it, or place the right foot behind your left, finding a little dancer's bridge. We'll inhale, bring it around to a high plank, and then pivot the heels to the left. Side plank, lift the left hand, and whatever you did on the other side, mirror it here. Inhale, meet back in a high plank pose. Start to shift the weight over your wrists, lowering halfway, a low push-up with or without your knees. The pose does not change. Inhale, cobra. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Three breaths here. Two more breaths. One more breath together. This time open up the mouth and say, ah. Left side. Inhale, lift your left leg, back and up. Exhale, round and curl. Bring your knee towards your belly, maybe your nose, maybe your forehead. Inhale, left leg back and up. Exhale, this time left knee, left elbow. Linger, hold, or fly. Inhale, left leg lifts back up. Bending the knee this time, opening up the hip, looking under your right armpit to keep your shoulders parallel to the top of your mat. Inhale, the heel and leg lift simultaneously. Exhale, your left knee to your right elbow. Linger, hold, or fly. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, step the left foot all the way up between your hands. Lowering the back knee, untucking the toes, and rising to your low crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, lifting the lower belly, rising up and out of the back. Lengthening through the sides of your waist. And exhaling as you cinch the waist. Inhale. And exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, rise up. And side bend to the right. And inhale up. Looking up as you exhale, cactusing your elbows. Inhale as you lift the arms and straighten your left leg as you fold over for your half split variation. So either half passive or full. Trying to mirror exactly what you did on the other side. Right thigh is facing down, right hip bone is facing down the best you can. One more deep breath here. On your next inhale, lift back up, meeting in a lunge, and then tucking the back toes, right foot where the right knee is for pyramid pose. Check in, make sure all 10 toes are facing forward. Your left hip pulls back, the right hip pulls forward. Inhale. And on an exhale, fold. Squeeze your hip bones, tuck your chin to your chest. One more inhale. On your next inhale, hands by the foot, look up halfway, taking your right hand to the inside or outside of your left foot, ankle, or the block. Left hand to the hip or to the sky. Find equal balance in your feet. That's going to help keep your hips closed. One more breath here. On your next inhale, you'll lower the left hand, lift your left toes, lift your right heel, and pivot around to the right. Widening your stance, we're gonna lower the knees down for frog pose. So you wanna come to the inside of your knees, and you want your knees to align with your hips and your ankles to align with your knees. being mindful of your knees and how this feels on the mat. If it's too uncomfortable, just come back to your wide leg fold. With each exhale, allow yourself to soften. With the inhales, allow yourself the experience of whatever it is you're feeling. If it helps, close your eyes, turning the gaze back behind the eyes to follow every little bit of the breath. Just one more inhale here. So if you're still in frog, place your hands down, pick the feet up, tuck your toes, draw your belly in, lift the knees, jump step, or float back onto the mat. And then just bend the knees a few times, shake your head, your shoulders, whatever feels good, do a little bit of that. And then we'll take the hands under the shoulders, inhale, look up halfway, take your hands to your hips and rise. And then interlace your fingers behind you, placing your left thumb on top this time. Inhale, gaze up. And exhale, forward fold. Once you fold all the way over, let your arms lift away from your back. Doing your best to keep the palms pressing. Bring your sit bones towards the sky and your navel to your spine. And again, if you want to release the bind for another inversion, headstand, forearm stand, whatever feels the best, do a little bit of that. You have 3 more breaths here. One more breath. Bringing the feet back down if they're up, and inhale, look up halfway. Bending the left knee, bring it all the way around to the left. Right palm flat, left fingertips tent. Inhale, left foot steps back to your version of a side plank. Maybe wild thing this time, getting a yogi grip on your left big toe and extending the left leg up. Keep grounding that right big toe to strengthen the ankle rather than put unnecessary weight on the ankle joint. Slowly lowering your left hand to pivot around to the other side. Lifting the right arm, and then whatever you did on the other side, try to mirror it over here. Noticing how one side you might have a little more balance than the other. When we get to the twisting portion of our practice, that's when we start to balance out the imbalances. High plank pose. Inhale. Low push-up. Inhale, cobra. Two more inhales in cobra. One more inhale. And then let your exhale lift you up and back to downward facing dog.